Hey, it's Brutalizer. Up until this point, I've been speaking with a lower pitched voice. The reason I was masking it was for anonymity. I have a very recognizable voice. It's not that common. If you were at the store and you heard me speak, and you knew who I was, you'd probably instantly recognize me. And even if you didn't, my voice will probably leave an impression on your memory, and you would likely remember me solely on my voice alone. With the Brutalizer channel, I started this channel originally to upload shorts content, and in shorts content, I don't really need to speak. However, since then I've been studying the YouTube algorithm, and since I've learned that the half-sword community generally likes historical combat, I started hitting the books and reading about it. I used to watch HEMA casually before this for many years, but I never actually went out my way to learn the techniques, because I didn't really have the money to go out and spar with actual experts, nor did I have any means to really practice them, except through virtual reality, which I only got a few years ago. Half-sword was unique in that way where I could do historical combat with a mouse and keyboard. With that uniqueness, it grew in popularity. When I started to understand that, I found myself making more and more HEMA content, historical European martial arts. The frequency in which I was using my voice became more and more common. I had intended to mask my voice to maintain my anonymity and only use it sparingly. But this channel is moving through my explanations of historical combat, using real techniques at half-sword. By dabbling in streaming, I came to realize that if I want to stream more content, to fix my schedule of uploading a long video every month and then just uploading shorts content, I'm either going to have to mask my voice better with a more natural sounding one, or I'm just going to have to take off the voice changer. It's actually one of my goals to one day be able to mimic voices with extreme accuracy. However, in the current day, it's just not working out for me. So I've decided to bite the bullet and reveal my voice. All the Brutalizer voice was a pitch change anyway. It's very easy to reverse it. There are crazy people on the internet that I've watched throughout the years who grab onto fame like a leech. And so with this voice, if it ever came to that, I do think people will eventually find me at some point. If I'm ever talking out in the store, their ears will perk up at the sound of this voice, and inevitably I would be sniffed out. So just remember, the location I live in, I have a right to self-defense, and I'd be more than willing to take advantage of that right. In all honesty, it only gets like that when you start to reach 500,000 daily views. Right now I'm perfectly safe. I've been on this platform since I was a little child, and I see exactly how people act. I've watched people's houses get firebombed. Honestly, I'm just going to booby trap my house if I ever came down to that. Probably have a few pitfall traps in my front yard. A couple landmines, just turn my house into a meat grinder for the haters. Maybe I could put meat grinders into the pitfall traps. I think that would work out pretty nicely. Just have them fall when they run forward and try to throw the firebomb, and they just land on a bunch of great swords in a brutal ketchup-y fashion. Maybe even record it and treat it like a sport. Regardless, in the month of June I have a few plans for the channel. I want to be a video content creator. Employers don't like me. I don't have 10 years of experience doing one single thing over and over again. I'm creative and flexible. I move around, develop new ways to do things. Employers are looking for human machines, and because of issues with my family, I don't even have a car. Another family member is driving it to get to work every day, leaving me to the online world. And the longer I wait, the more I realize my situation's just not going to get better. In the recent poll, you gave me the okay. The vast majority of you are completely fine with me uploading medieval historical content, more games than just half-sword. By the start of next month, the Slime VR controllers I ordered, with the intention to make more VR content, but also to create animations on the side for various Blender projects, will finally arrive. Yes, I know how to use Blender. At one point I was going to try to make a business out of making 3D models, but I didn't go through with it because of the time investment I had to put into the projects and the general nature of the business. Accepting commissions and all that would be a long, grueling path that would have ironically made me less creative, as at some point it would start feeling like factory work, as I recreate the same style of models over and over again, to appeal to people's desires and requests. Instead, I plan to take my 3D modeling skills to video creation, as the biggest limitation in this field is purely time investment. To make a quality animation by hand, you would normally have to spend hours of moving bones around in 3D animation. And in 2D animation, you would have to redraw the same image over and over again, slightly moving the character each time. It's annoying, and it's a lot of work, and it usually doesn't pay, unless you're working for a company, or you've got a big enough reach of a style people like that'll bring you work. The starving artist meme is real. With tracking in VR and a bit of camera footage, I'm able to do what is called motion tracking, where I track my movements in virtual reality and then I turn it into animation and just polish it. In June, I'm going to be messing around with that a lot. And I'll be using it to show off some HEMA techniques for video content. And this month I've spent a lot of time learning how to mod Blade and Sorcery since my last video, meaning I'm growing the capacity to be able to put my own historical weapons into Blade and Sorcery. And I intend to show it off in third person, with a proper camera mod. First person VR can be kind of weird to watch sometimes, and it's definitely not for everyone. I want to center the camera on the back of the character in a half-sword fashion, so it's like you're watching half-sword content, but with better movements and more historical accuracy. Blade and Sorcery would be a great playground for this kind of channel. And once everything is set up, I do think it will be a game frequently seen on this channel. Another game you're going to see content of, which I just purchased a few hours ago, is Hellish Quartz. You've probably seen it if you're into historical fighting. I want to go through some of the techniques they use and show it. I'm learning about Steam Remote Play and trying to see if online multiplayer is possible. And if it's common enough, I might just live stream myself playing against other people. Depends on its popularity though. I am unsure if I'm going to go through with that one. Beyond that, more shorts will be coming of these games and other games as well. Shorts will be centered around games that have medieval contexts and use historical techniques. Kingdom Come Deliverance is one of them that comes to mind. Not next month, but at some point I want to cover that. And general brutality, with sword and shield of any variety, will be given across multiple games. If you have any suggestions of what I should play, let me know. If I think the vast majority of people might like it, I'll do it. Something we need more of is historical fighting games. The closest a game came to this was Hellish Court and Chivalry 2. Hellish Court doesn't support online multiplayer on its own, and it's still in early access to this day. And Chivalry, I've played the first one, and yes, it's fun, but there isn't any real effort made towards historical fighting. The game's just a little too simple. I think the majority of people here want to see proper techniques being played out, and the animations just aren't there. So my pool of selection is generally just lackluster. I would like to have something that lets me engage with the community more, something that is multiplayer. Wouldn't mind hosting tournaments and all that, but it's just not really there. So I'll be looking, keeping my eyes peeled for any historical content that could fit this channel. With all this being said, as I've said earlier, my finance is limited. And if I'm truly going to go all in with this channel, I'm going to need to be able to eat. Now throughout this year I've been learning to cook. I've learned how to cook the cheapest struggle meals available on the market today. This means going out of my way to bake my own bread, using flour purchased from the store, and making veggie patties out of pinto beans. I could probably buy a month's worth of food for just $20. I wanted to originally do this through ad revenue, but because of the brutal nature of this channel, people getting destroyed in real time with limbs flying off, in the far future I just don't think it's going to work out. YouTube doesn't like brutal content, and I call the red stuff ketchup for a reason. It's all in the video game, yes, but YouTube has had a long history of making many mistakes. So I just don't think I'm going to be able to rely on YouTube to make a profit off of my work here, as running this channel in this style requires me to go out of my way to pick up long books and texts, scavenge the internet for translations of those texts, look through various people's interpretations of the text, and then try to learn and mimic it in a way that is as historically accurate as I can make it. This content is a lot more complicated than most content. Most content on this website just involves people rambling their face off. It's not real work, and many of them hire video editors to do all the real work for them. This channel requires active engagement from me. I have to study and figure out new skills in order to run this. Even if I did get a video editor, which I don't currently have the profits to do, it would still require me to sit down and start reading books, as if it was homework. Now, I'm not complaining. HEMA is a hobby that I want to have, so it benefits me in that way. But that's just it. It's a hobby. Hobbies don't pay for my food. So in order to make this content worth all the effort it takes, I'm going to be opening a Patreon, and I'm going to be uploading exclusive videos and content on there. I'm going to be shortening down the free YouTube videos and uploading extended versions of them on Patreon. It's going to be extremely cheap to become a Patreon member. I'm just going to ask for $1 or $2. If only 20 of you became the lowest tier member, that alone would just pay for my food. And if we went beyond that, say I made $800 a month before tax and fees, that would be enough for me to treat this as a part-time job. It would be enough to pay for my internet bill, and it'll let me have something to fall back on as I watch the economy burn in the background, and employers continuously rejecting me for my lack of experience. It would motivate me to take this channel further and spend more time improving it, and upload much more frequently than I do today. As of making this video, I haven't made a dime yet. All the content you've been seeing has been made for free. Financially speaking, there's no benefit at all to this. This is a hobby. In order to get monetized on YouTube, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. We have not reached that, and I'm broke. So it is completely optional. But if you would like to be a Patreon supporter, click the link below in the description. In each video I will now be putting a link there for Patreon. Thank you in advance for supporting this content. Patreon members will also exclusively be getting polls that they can vote on to influence the direction of the channel. I like to learn about my audience and what they generally like and dislike, but I only like doing it to the real supporters who, in general, like my content. Haters that roll by, I just don't pay attention to. And something I've learned about haters is, the moment you gatekeep them with a tiny fee, like $1 or $2 on Patreon, they tend to go away, and the people who actually like video content that you make are the only ones that will get through the gate. This will not only help with the polls, but I also won't have to filter out all the comments anymore, since all the supporters will be browsing Patreon. So if you want to tell me something, the best way to do it will be through commenting on Patreon. With all that being said, I look forward to seeing you next month in the giant wave of historical content that is going to hit your subscription feed. Stay brutal, brutal nights.